Hey, 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 what's up everybody? I hope you're all keeping well. I'm back on YouTube and I'm glad to be making videos again. Everything is good with me, no need to worry about that. I just needed a bit of time away from the camera, a bit of time away from social media and from YouTube to refresh my mind, to refresh my ideas, and to be able to come back with good quality content, which is obviously what I want to put out for you guys. I want to thank you all who've been watching the channel in the meantime, commenting, liking videos, and supporting as always. I really appreciate it. Now, whilst I was taking time away from YouTube, I did take a little break, a small holiday within Spain, and me being the financially frugal guy I am, I looked for ways to save money wherever I could to make sure it was the most cost-effective holiday that I could have. So I'm going to be sharing how I tried to save money during this holiday, how I took advantage of some frugal ideas that might help you on future holidays, and I'm going to be sharing some videos of where I've been on holiday. So let's get right into the video. Welcome to Millennials with Money. My name is Johnny and thank you for joining me for this video. Those of you that watch the channel know that I live in Spain. I live in Madrid, and Spain of course has many hotspots for tourism, many wonderful locations where you can go and visit. This year I decided to visit the northeastern region of Catalonia, which is where actually my journey in Spain started several years ago when I took a temporary job working in a hostel over summer. So I made a lot of friends while I was living and working there, obviously, and there's some really nice villages, really nice towns, and obviously the big city of Barcelona in Catalonia. So I thought this year, why not go back and relive some memories and have some good times with good people. So in terms of saving money on traveling, I'm going to start with a topic that I've talked about recently on my talks with Stu on Spain Speaks, and that is the low-cost trains, which is how I traveled between Madrid and Barcelona. So on the Iberian Peninsula, which is the big chunk of land at the bottom of the south of Europe, which encompasses Spain, Portugal, Gibraltar, and Andorra, Madrid sits pretty much right in the center, whereas Barcelona sits right in the northeastern corner. And to drive between the two would be about 6.5 hours in a car. To fly between Madrid and Barcelona is about 1 hour and 15 minutes. And to take the train, depending on how many stops you have, can take between 2.5 to 3.5 hours. So those are the main choices of travel that people will take when traveling between Madrid and Barcelona, which is a very popular travel route in Spain, of course. So because I booked my trip so far in advance on the Wendigo train, I actually managed to get my return ticket for 35 euros. Wow, right? And now that the low-cost trains are in the market, some of these prices are very competitive compared to when you look at the price of flying between Madrid and Barcelona. Not to mention you've also got the convenience of having a fairly comfortable luggage allowance, and you don't have the liquid restrictions that you have at the airport. So now that I've talked a bit about the means of travel, I'm going to talk about the 4 locations which I stayed, and in each location I'm going to give you some ideas of how I save money. So my first stop was in a city called Tarragona, which is in the south of Catalonia. Tarragona is a small city right next to the coast, so you have the beach, and you've also actually got a Roman amphitheater which is still preserved in the city as well. You've also got a lot of bars and restaurants, so it's a very nice place to consider if you're traveling to Catalonia. And if you're looking to go to the Port Aventura theme park or have a bit of a party in Salou, then you also have them both really close, probably about 30 minutes either by car or by train. So you have them really close. In Tarragona, I stayed in a 3-star hotel, so nothing really that luxury. The room was really small actually, it was very basic, you know, it had a bed and a bathroom, which was good enough for me, and the price was very cheap, you know, nothing luxury. I actually had to go down to the common area if I wanted to take advantage of the Wi-Fi, and food was additional on top of that. So I really saved money and kept it to the bare basics there. I didn't have a kitchen, which is something that I'll come to a bit later on in the video, but I didn't want to go out to restaurants and eat every day. So when I didn't want to go and eat out, one option that I did take advantage of was going to the local Mercadona, which is a supermarket, and taking some of their ready meals, which you'll see on the screen now. You've got some really nice options like paella, you've even got fried chicken and other hot meals, which are at affordable prices, you know, more expensive than if you made a meal at home, but not as expensive as going to a restaurant. So it's a very happy medium and a good way to save money on food if you don't have access to a kitchen. My next stop was in a town called Castelldefels, which was also right next to the coast. But this time I decided to stay in a bit of a nicer hotel. This was going to be one of my treats whilst I was on holiday, take advantage of some of the nicer facilities in the hotel, such as the swimming pool and having a super comfortable bed. Like in Tarragona, I didn't have access to a kitchen, and in this hotel the food was particularly expensive, so I didn't plan to go and eat down at the hotel restaurant or the hotel bar too much. So when it came to breakfast, I simply bought croissants from the local supermarket, took them to the hotel room and ate them in the hotel. And when it came to lunches, I had a Burger King nearby, and I had a lot of discount coupons for Burger King, and that got me some discounted fast food. Obviously, it's not healthy to do this every day, but if you're doing this, you know, just while you're on holiday, as a little hack to get some cheap food, and it doesn't become a regular thing, then obviously it's not going to be so bad for your health. But obviously I don't recommend that this becomes a regular habit. The third stop on my trip was in Barcelona. Everyone knows Barcelona, of course, Spain's second biggest city and a massive tourist hotspot. I have a lot of friends in Barcelona. I was very fortunate to stay with a good friend of mine, so that helped me to save money on accommodation and on food and on travel around the city, as he had a car and a motorbike as well. Trust me, don't underestimate networking, your friends, and any connections that you might have in a particular city. Obviously, I'm not saying take advantage of them, but they may be able to help you out here and there, even if it's just telling you where to find cheap food, for example. And of course, if they're kind enough to help you out, such as my friend did, then you should do whatever you can to be able to return the favor to them, because you know they're giving you a big hand, particularly when it comes to costs like accommodation. And my final stop on this trip was in Girona. Now, Girona is not near the coast, it's a bit more inland, but it's quite a historical city, and it's a very nice spot in Catalonia. If you ever are around that region of Spain, I definitely recommend a visit to Girona. This time I stayed in an Airbnb. I didn't know anyone up there, but I did use American Express points that I'd accumulated over the past year to pay for my Airbnb. So I essentially stayed in an Airbnb for free thanks to American Express points. I've talked briefly about credit cards before, and as long as you can manage your spending and be responsible with a credit card, there are some credit cards that give you really nice perks, such as the American Express card, such as credit cards that will give you flight miles, and someday these may come in really handy, such as it did in my case. And never underestimate when those points can come in handy. It could actually give you a big saving. And in this Airbnb, I did have access to a kitchen, so I did take advantage of that to cook for a few meals where I could, and I didn't eat out all the time. And obviously, cooking food is much cheaper than eating out. Of course, when you go on holiday, you do want to try some of the local cuisine. You maybe do want to take a bit of a break from cooking if you are doing it every day, but don't discard it completely. You know, eating out is one of the biggest ways to accumulate expenses in the month. I remember when I was budgeting, my eating out bill was what was killing me essentially. So if you do want to try and save some money, then do consider maybe cooking a couple of meals, even if it's just one meal a day, for example, or one meal every other day. You know, every little helps when it comes to saving. So there you go, guys. I hope that you found these tips helpful and that they might come in handy the next time you're planning a holiday. And I also hope that you enjoyed watching a couple of the videos that I've shared with you from my holiday. Leave a comment and let me know your thoughts. How do you save money on holiday? Did you go away this year, and where did you go? I'd love to hear. Now check out these videos, and if you're not yet subscribed to the channel, then make sure you hit the subscribe button with a notification bell so that you don't miss a single update. I'll see you on the next one, and let's get this money.